and thank you for joining me. I truly appreciate it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Agymah, and this is my world. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 7 things you should or you must do before you go on vacation. So let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start from number 7 and work down to number 1. Okay, the first thing you should do is look up the weather conditions before you actually book your vacation. Because I remember at one time I was thinking about going to the Philippines, and I normally go on vacation like in July. Okay, and I never really thought about looking up and see what's it like in other countries until I kind of like mentioned to this young lady that I was talking to, and I said, yeah, I would love to come to your country and visit you in July. And she had told me, no, July is not a good time to come to the Philippines. You might want to come more like in April or May. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I was like, and I was going to surprise her. So I would have received a real big surprise. I think it's like, they like have hurricanes or tornadoes and stuff around that time. So that's a bad time. So always when you're going to book a trip to another country, make sure you know what the weathers are like around the time that you're going to go. Okay? That was number 7. Number 6. Know what is considered respectful dressing. Know what's considered respectful dressing in that country. Because of course, like in countries like Muslim countries, women can't dress a certain way. And I'm not going to go too much into it because I know most of my audiences are actually male. But I was surprised when I was in the Philippines, and I was told that when I was on tour, they was like, well, you guys that are wearing shorts, you would not be able to go into a federal building. Okay, so like, so that's in the Philippines, actually, Panama City. You cannot wear shorts, and I think it's also in Colombia. In a federal building is considered disrespectful, and you could get in a lot of trouble for that. So if you're ever in Panama City or Colombia, you don't want to wear shorts into a federal building because I don't know if you're going to get a ticket, but that's considered disrespectful, and that's something you don't want to do. That's number 6. Number 5, vaccinations and prescriptions. Make sure you get your shots and everything that you're gonna need for that country, like right away. I think it's usually about like 2 weeks or a month or so before you go on a vacation. It's best, because I remember when I was going to Colombia, and all the time just like flew by. I think it was like a week before I was gonna leave. And my doctors were telling me like, yo, you were supposed to have this shot like a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, oh, I know, time just flew by. And it was like, well, I don't know if you're going to be able to go, So I had to go and find out, go to this place and get shots and stuff. And I was pretty lucky. They gave the shots to me. And, and it was like, well, hopefully you won't have any problems, but we'll give you the shots. But for now on, make sure a month or 2 weeks, 2 weeks the latest. Okay, so make sure you get your shots to go to that country about a month or 2 weeks before you leave. And also, make sure you have all your prescription refills and stuff. Because, there's a lot of things that I take for my sinuses and stuff like that. And and I remember also when I went to Medellin, I had a really bad ear infection, and my prescription ran out the day before, and I was like feeling really good, so I thought, hey, I can still go. And the day that I was leaving, I started getting sick. I started having ear infections. I would lie down, the room would spin around and stuff. So the whole time I was on my vacation, I had a bad ear infection, and room was spinning around, and I would walk down the street. Sometimes I lost my balance. So make sure you stay on top of your medications especially if you're going on a vacation in another country. Number 4, passport. Make sure your passport's in order. You definitely want to do that. I knew for sure mine was in order because I think I'd got a new one about 2 or 3 months earlier, so I knew that. And as far as my driver's license, I did my driver's license like for the first time online, and it came kind of late, and I was really worried about that. And I did get it on time, even though it was like about 10 days late or so, and it came on time. But the funny thing is, when I went to, I had to go from Boston to Florida in order to catch the next plane to Colombia. When I went to I went to customs, and they asked me for my ID, and I pulled out my old ID because I still had my old ID, and it was like, oh no, you can't use this, you can't get on, this is expired. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? I just came from Boston. And they said, no, this is expired. What are you talking about? So I was like all nervous. And the good thing, they told me like, no, just take your time and look. And I just calmed myself down. I went through my wallet and I put my new ID somewhere else. Okay, and I did find it. So make sure you have an updated ID and make sure you put it in a place where you can find it easily, because they will not let you through customs. Okay, you will not be able to get on the plane without that ID. Okay, that was number 4. Number 3, know who to contact in case of an emergency. What do I mean by that? Several things you should do. You should give your itinerary to a family member. Give all the information, what hotel you're going to stay in, when you're leaving. Give that to a family member. Give copies to a family member. Also, when I say that, know who to contact. Make sure you find out where the U.S. embassy is located in whatever country you're going to. Make sure you know where it's located. Make sure you have the address, and make sure you have the telephone number in case you run into any problems. I don't know how much help you can get, but it's best to be able to reach out to someone in case you have problems in another country. You definitely want to try to contact the U.S. Embassy in that country. It's better than not being able to contact anyone that's in that country. Something's better than nothing, right? And number 2. This happened to me in Panama City. Contact your bank before leaving your country. Yes, you definitely want to do that right away. I would say like probably a week or so. Just go into your bank and let them know. Because I didn't do that when I went to Panama City, and I was actually using a lot of cash. But this time I wanted to use Uber because I know the cab drivers were asking for was like taking advantage of foreigners and asking a lot of money. So I used Uber. I downloaded Uber in my phone, which I normally don't use Uber, but I wanted to use Uber there in Panama City. So I took my guy, picked me up, took me to this nightclub, and I partied, had a good time. It's like 3:00 in the morning. I'm trying to call Uber, and I get a message that that there was declined. Everything was declined because the bank had just stopped the money from coming through, and so Uber wasn't paid, so they wouldn't allow me to get another Uber. So I'm like, yo, what are they talking about? I got plenty of money in my bank account. And so that night I ended up having to take a cab. And then I had made all kinds of calls, international calls to my bank, and they just wanted to know, like, yeah, somebody in Panama took an Uber for like $5 or so, and we blocked your account. And I was like, oh no, that was me. So it's, oh no, we didn't know, you didn't tell us. I said, well, I didn't know that at the time. So yes, make sure you contact your bank and let them know when you're leaving and how long you're going to be in the other country. Okay, that's like really important. All right, and number one. Wow, we're down to number one. This one is also very important. I want to talk about update yourself on current events that's going on in that country. You want to know what's going on, especially if you're going to be renting a vehicle or you're going to be traveling alone and you're all by yourself. You definitely want to know the areas that you need to stay away from. And this is something I just recently found online about Brazil. There are different apps that you can install on your phone. And normally, if you're going to be taking a cab and stuff too, the cab drivers have these apps. And these apps will tell you what areas of Brazil that are having that are gunfights and stuff, or murders and stuff like that that's going on. Okay, shootings and stuff that's going on, and it's all in real time. Okay, so what I will do, I will make sure I put it up here, telling you the name of the apps. So like if you're in Brazil, you can download those apps. It's like two different apps, and you can download one of those apps, especially if you're going to be trying to drive around or get on a motorcycle and you want to know like those areas that you should not be going into. But if you're in a cab, those cab drivers already have the apps, and it tells them right away, there's a shooting in this area, do not go in this area. So they're on top of all of that. But I just wanted you to know that. Okay, everyone, I hope you like this video. And if you do, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Tell me and just let me know why. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and of course, subscribe. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Peace.